Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. This is a day of very confusing news and you'll see exactly why, because a lot of it just doesn't make a lot of sense. According to a recent submission by the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority, or the APRA, the financial services sector regulators could potentially oversee Facebook's Libra by playing a part in the proposed framework to govern digital wallets. On the 21st of January, APRA submitted a proposal before the Senate Select Committee on Financial and Regulatory Technology. APRA, which is one of the top regulators watching over the payment system in the country, has reviewed the digital payments mechanism as stored valued facilities and is expecting digital wallets to hold a large amount of Libra in the future. The regulators made the assumption following a request for the new regulatory framework for such digital wallets from the Select Committee of Financial Regulators. The submission said, under this proposal, APRA's role in the framework would be to oversee wallets that are widely used as a means of payment and store significant value from a reasonable amount of time, i.e. potentially Facebook's Calibra proposal, end quote. However, that wasn't all. The submission also added that the likes of Apple Pay may not come under the same rigorous level of regulations as digital wallets utilizing Libra, since Apple's payments system is already working under the infrastructure controlled by the banks. The submission also stated that a new framework for digital assets is being proposed, keeping in mind the need to accommodate future developments and technological advancements. So why is this? First of all, here's the actual submission right here. Submission to the Senate Select Committee on Financial Technology and Regulatory Technology from the apra.gov.au. This is interesting because even just a couple of days ago, and even before that, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Facebook's Libra is not welcome in Australia, according to the RBA. The really interesting part is that I could have shown you about 35 other articles where over the course of 2019, every single financial regulatory authority thing within Australia had said that they hated Libra. It would never enter Australia. It would never enter the space. I think even somewhere around here it says that they saw no demand for Libra. You can find it very easily. They kept on stating that they saw no reason to allow Libra within Australia simply because there would be no demand for it. And I'm not sure if that's them not understanding how technology works. I don't mean that as a joke. A lot of people seem to, potentially me, you, I, us, all of us here, may potentially understand the dangers of not even a centralized coin. It's just going to be a box of coins that's going to be controlled by Facebook. We may understand the dangers of such a world where things are happening like that. A lot of people seem to think that simply because they don't like Facebook, that everyone else is simply not going to do it as well. You may have not been on social media and or any other type of platform that is reigning supreme right now. People don't care. Terrible things happen around the world and people don't care. People would rather post about terrible things happening as opposed to actually doing anything about it. The same exact thing will happen with Libra. Facebook has done horrible things in the past. They have taken people's data, messages, everything, and people still continue to use them on a daily basis to post pictures of their dogs and their feet and all this other stuff that people really don't want to see. All it takes is money and proper advertising. We spoke about this before. All Facebook has to do is dump free Libra on their 1 point whatever billion users around the world, and people will start using Libra. If you're incentivized to use Libra because you get a discount on Facebook store, you get a discount here. Remember how Uber and Lyft and this place and that place were also Libra members? All they have to do is say, well, you get a 15-20% discount if you use Libra. That is going to cause Libra to start to skyrocket. So when they say that they see or that there won't be a use, not a use, what's the word? That normal people won't find a use or want to use Libra, that's a lie. Facebook has so much, there's a reason why they started all of this. They didn't start Calibra because they're like, oh yeah, people may want to use it because it's on a blockchain, right? That sounds kind of fun. No, they're doing it because they've thought all of this out already. They know exactly how it's going to be marketed. The entire point being, multiple countries came out last year raging We hate Libra, blockchain, blah, 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 blah. We don't like it. Bitcoin looks dangerous. And one by one, they all seem to be now coming over to the side of, well, I mean, as long as we oversee it, I mean, then it's not that bad, right? What was the other country who also said recently, Facebook even announced, it had to be 2 months ago, that they had spoken directly with, I think, 3 other countries who apparently were now trying to, they said they were in talks to potentially become Libra members and or node holders. I forgot exactly what the exact things are. The entire point being, we will see more backstepping within the next couple of months. Libra is still expected to try to launch sometime this summer. We haven't received the exact word on it since all the regulators were fake jumping down their throats. Remember how America was also incredibly opposed to it? And now we hear nothing. The people from Libra continue to release news talking about that they're doing this, they're hiring this person. Kind of weird that, you know, for a month and a half, everyone was screaming really loud and now we hear nothing. And even, what was the other thing? I think the Mark Carney, the head of the Bank of England, I think he also came out in recent support for Calibra. And, you know, the point being, I think it's annoying, and I think there's a better word for that, when regulators, governments, and stuff like that, when they continue to say, oh, we don't like it because this is evil, we don't like it because so-and-so, and then the moment that they figure out a way to make it financially viable for them, or to gain control of something, or to run a node, oh no, it's fine. I mean, as long as we oversee it, I mean, as long as we can actually look at the wallets and pay attention to what every single citizen in our country is doing. I mean, do you guys have a problem with it? I mean, it's totally fine for us. Anyway, I thought this news was spectacularly weird because they just posted a couple days ago that it is not welcome in Australia, and lo and behold, as long as they can control it, they're fine with it. Let's move on. Once again, and this seems to be a regular thing now on the channel of news that's everywhere but probably should not have been everywhere. The Tezos Foundation has earlier this week, so yesterday, launched a Tezos faucet, giving away free cryptocurrency to anyone who simply lists a wallet address and passes a CAPTCHA. The faucet, appropriately named Tezos Foundation's faucet, sends up to, now pay attention, and I'll tell you why this is insignificant, rather, and also news. The faucet will give you 0.01 Tezos every time you click send Tezos. Claims can be made over 12 hours, so you get to do it twice per day, and you would get a roughly around 0.015 cent, as Tezos is currently around $1.50 per coin. You heard that right. Over the course of 24 hours, you would get less than 2 cents worth of Tezos. Its website notes that up to 10 Tezos addresses can receive funds from the faucet at once, giving you a really hefty, what is that, 15 cents, 20 cents? Making out like a bandit. And notes its purpose is to let developers use Tezos tokens on the mainnet, while faucets aimed at giving away tokens for developers are nothing new. These usually give away testnet tokens, not real mainnet tokens with an actual market value. I will tell you one thing right now. Here's the actual website right here. It says, welcome to the Tezos Foundation faucet. I think it's nice that they decided to make this. This news was everywhere. Why is this news ridiculous? I don't know if any of you have ever watched other YouTube channels. For some reason, I like these kind of things. And I don't like the word like hustling and stuff like that. But I like to see people do really ridiculous things in a short amount of time. There was a person, he made a video where I think he took 1 cent and his goal was to, I think, make it into $10,000 over the course of a couple of days or something like that. And he did it. It was very ridiculous. He showed step by step. He used the 1 cent. I think he went to a store. No, he went to someone's car. He said, can I give you this 1 cent for some candy that you have in your car? And the person was like, what? They gave him a handful of candy. He took the 1 cent. I think he went around and was like selling the candy that he had in his hand, I think for like 10 cents each, 25 cents each, something crazy like that. He ended up getting around $4 or $5. He took that to a store, bought these little 25-cent juices, sold them to a couple of people on the street for $1 each. I think it was summertime. By the end of the day, I think he had a couple of $100. The entire point being, don't waste your time getting 2 cents or 20 cents when you could be doing something else. You could work a normal working hour and be able to get enough Tezos than an entire year of doing this actual faucet. Why I say this is interesting is because when I got into the cryptocurrency space, one of the really major things was actually cryptocurrency faucets. A lot of people don't know that these things have been around for a very long time. I think they started around 2011, 2012. People used to set up websites to give away free cryptocurrency. If you remember what was around 2011, 2012, it was not a lot of coins. I remember there were places that used to give, I think it was 0.01 Bitcoin away for free. And you could use the faucet, I think, every hour or something like that. I knew a lot of people who used to get the Bitcoin like this, but at that point, Bitcoin's price was so low that it was kind of like, it's kind of some Bitcoin. And now 0.01 Bitcoin is still, it's a little chunk of change. The entire point being, this news was everywhere, and when you look around, it's a couple of cents. Like I said, if you're even looking to get into Tezos, just get a part-time job. You can even work an hour a day. You can clean somebody's windows, and you would still make enough money to be able to buy as much Tezos as you need. Like I said, it's gonna be a ridiculous news day. There's just a lot of really weird stuff floating around on the internet right now. Anyway, and that's enough with the Tezos news. Yeah, if you're interested, go watch some of those videos. Not that it's inspiring to me. I always find it fascinating how much someone can do with a little, like with absolutely nothing. I used to watch a lot of stuff like that when I was younger. Maybe there's a pattern. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, the latest annual dapp, or Decentralized Application Market report by dapp.com, says that the number of daily decentralized applications, or dapp users on EOS has crashed by 80% since last November. On the 6th largest smart contract platforms, the report records, why are they the same word? Records and records. Records a total of 1,445 new dapps launched in 2019. 609 of these were Ethereum based, and 411 were built on Tron. These two platforms have also started to pull ahead in terms of user numbers, forming a gap between themselves and EOS, according to the report. Prior to November, EOS was the blockchain with the largest number of daily active users. This was an average of around 80,000 users per dapps on EOS every day. Since then, EIDOS has launched. EOS's DAU has dropped dramatically to an average of 15,363, which is a decrease of around 80%. This is made worse by the fact that the daily active EOS dapps have fallen by as much as 30% since November 2. Overall, this demise is a very strong word, is likely due to the fact that a number of EOS's leading dapps, including EOS Bet and Karma, left the blockchain to join Wax's platform instead. Here's the actual dapp.com 2019 annual dapp, what a stupid word, market report right here. Numbers, symbols, numbers. I also expect a large part of this is, and stay with me on this one, is the increased energy around Ethereum over the last 3 months. We have received, and it says since November, we've received an enormous amount of activity and news around Ethereum, which we did not get before, as far as Ethereum being able to upgrade. Once again, the news that we keep getting about Ethereum is that Ethereum will be able to go from 15 transactions per second to anywhere from 3,000 to 1 million. Wide gap, I know, but even if we stick at the 3,000 number, that's still a huge improvement, which would then push all the other Ethereum competitors completely away and push them to the side. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much more. Like, all the numbers are kind of right here. The news that we had yesterday, I received a barrage of comments. The news that we had yesterday that apparently the people from EOS would not be using EOS for voice apparently was incorrect. I chose and choose CoinDesk because they are actually, and you might not care for this, they are actually the leading cryptocurrency news outlet. 99.9% of the time, the news that they release is correct. People told me in the comment section that apparently the people from CoinDesk apparently don't like Brendan Bloomer, who is the creator of EOS, and apparently he told them not to release that piece of news, and apparently they did. Problem is that they had quotes and they had information from where it was said. However, people were telling me that that was incorrect. So, I don't know if it's just a lot of negative EOS news. Not exactly sure what it is. Just to clarify, because I know people get really scared sometimes. Yes, I do still hold my EOS. I have not sold any of my coins. Every single coin that I've ever spoken about before, I still have all of them. I just continue when I buy more crypto. It is typically one or two coins. Many of the other coins I still hold, and I'm going to hold them. But I just simply don't buy them as, not even as much. I don't think I bought, I don't think I bought any altcoins in 2019. I don't think so. I've shifted my focus heavily. The entire point being, EOS's daily users has dropped. I assume this is because people are maybe moving over to other platforms, trying to test out other things to see if it works quicker. Maybe they prefer something. Maybe they have a friend on the other side. And also, I think a very significant part of it comes down to the fact that Ethereum is expected this year to be able to have thousands of transactions. You get the point. Let's move on. Another really weird, and I expected all of this. I expected every single part of it. There are 4,000 lawyers at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, but the agency is light on programmers who can actually explain all of the algorithms involved in today's investments. That's according to SEC Commissioner Robert Jackson, who remarked that the rapid growth of digital assets and computer-driven investment advice has become a key challenge for regulators trying to keep up with technological advances. This was reported by Reuters. Speaking before an Israeli Securities Authority Commission conference on Monday, Jackson says the ratio needs to change in order for the agency to be more effective at regulating the market. He said in 20 years, we may need, in 20 years, maybe now, he said in 20 years, we may need to be an agency of 2,000 lawyers and 2,000 programmers. I know what it looks like when a human being commits fraud. It's a lot harder to detect when an algorithm defrauds the investor, but investors deserve no less protection simply because money is being moved around by an algorithm. Jackson also says cryptocurrencies are exciting but come with risks, describing them as another challenge for regulators. With 20 years, with a better grasp on the technology, the agency can create a legal framework for the space, preventing the industry's association with scammers and fraudsters while also protecting investors. Remember when I said in 2018 and 2019, as I have a really strong feeling these people have, not that they don't have any idea what they're doing. I felt like they were behind. They should have first of all, algorithm trading bots has been a thing since at least 2011, 2012. It got really good around 2015, 2016. I know a lot of people who just use trading bots. You should probably have at least 100 programmers walking around the office, if nothing more, to be tapped on the shoulder. Hey, we need your help. I don't get it, and I don't think it's meant for me to get. We spoke about before, and one of the main things, I'm sure it's not the same as it was before many years ago. One of the main things that got me, that interests me about the cryptocurrency space is that I was told, it was foretold many years ago, that regulators would simply not take a lot of it seriously, and they would wait years to be able to become active, to be able to do anything, to be able to really get into what all of this is. I still think a large number of regulators around the world don't think that cryptocurrencies are going to make it, that they're a fad, that they're going to drop away, no one's going to use them, or simply that there may only be, which also is a really weird thing, that governments simply think that people simply want something digital and that their desire and hunger will be solved once a bank produces a something digital currency, which is not the case, but that's up for them to decide. The entire point being, it'll take them, I give them another 10 years to really understand what they've been dealing with. But at that point, first of all, even now, the cryptocurrency space Bitcoin has permeated so deep into everything. I think we're good. I just knocked on wood. But yeah, this is not the first time that we've heard from a government regulator, security, something agency that they need to keep up. Even the head, what's that woman's name? Hester Pierce. She also came forward and was like, yeah, we need to move forward. China's going faster. That country's also moving faster. Hey guys, maybe we should move a bit quicker. Hey, anybody? And as she looks around and the whole room is empty. Anyway, here's the actual article from Reuters, and apparently the SEC commissioner is actually stepping down to go teach again at NYU. Why the heck not? Live your life, dude. Next up, Binance is, of course, in the news every single day. Major crypto exchange Binance has launched peer-to-peer trading for the Vietnamese dong. Vietnamese-based Binance users can now directly purchase and sell major cryptocurrencies using their Fiat through the latest versions of Binance's peer-to-peer mobile app on iOS and Android. The 4 supported cryptocurrencies, you should know them, are Bitcoin, Ether, Tether, and Binance Coin. The firm, yeah, I said it right. The firm said in a press release shared with Cointelegraph on the 20th of January. Even says it right here. Indian rupees, Turkish lira, Vietnamese dong, Chinese. Binance every single day keeps coming out with news about new fiat currencies that they are supporting, because they told us that they plan on supporting 180 currencies by the end of this year. So yeah, if you're in Vietnam, you can now use Binance with money, which I mean is kind of significant. It sounded like a joke. But if you live in another country that's not the States or not within the European zone section, you know that it's usually very difficult to be able to get your money into the cryptocurrency space. And the fact that currencies that many other people might not think about are now possible to be used in general to be able to buy, sell on any type of cryptocurrency is actually very significant. Yeah, let's move on. And to kind of finish things off with the ridiculous news for the day, Canada's top financial watchdog has told crypto exchanges they will be subject to securities laws if they act as custodians to users' digital assets. The Canadian Securities Administrator, or the CSA, said in guidance published on Thursday, the common exchange practice of custodying users' assets, merely providing users with a contractual right or claim to an underlying crypto asset, could subject them to securities legislation. Why? Who knows? They said whether a crypto asset has been immediately delivered to the platform's user is an important component in evaluating whether and to the extent of which the transaction and the platform are subject to securities legislation, according to the joint statement. The CSA is a group of provincial securities regulators in Canada, which does not have a federal equivalent like the US SEC. The CSA said that transactions without immediate delivery constitute derivative sales. Even if the custodial asset is generally recognized as a commodity, such as Bitcoin, it could be classified as the sale of debt or of an investment contract, a transaction that comes under the country's securities laws. Whoa, that's desperate. They had to make sure that you understand how desperate these people are for control. They had to make a situation that if you are being sent something and the delivery of it is not immediate, that it could constitute, even if something is considered a commodity, it could be considered as the sale of debt under securities laws. What? Even if countries declare that Bitcoin was a security, we know that it's not. The amount of, what's the word? Not slithering. It's like when you jump over things, mental hoops that you have to go through to be able to be like, well, if they didn't take 14 seconds to be able to send something, then wait, that's under our jurisdiction, right? What? Exchanges that facilitate immediate delivery will be exempt, according to the CSA. It is unclear what time frame the group has in mind for a transaction to qualify under the exemption. This was said by Pamela Draper, president and CEO of Canadian crypto exchange Bitvo. The new regulatory requirements may have a significant impact on the exchange landscape. Exchanges that can't or don't comply could be pushed out of Canada. What in the actual world? Leaving the field open to a handful of exchanges that are both willing and able to fit with a more comprehensive regulatory framework. Maybe something's in the air. Maybe just the news that we're getting today is... I have no idea. I would love one day to sit in a room with regulators and simply ask them why they do what they do. I don't think I'll get a proper answer ever, but we know that there's always, I want to say a method to the madness, but I think it's a method to the insanity. Why are countries so desperate to push money out of their borders? Why, if you see that this is or could potentially be more than a trend and an actual new way to set up finance within your country, would you be desperate to make things more difficult for people? What was the other country we had yesterday who was talking about a $1.23 million thing that you had to give them in order to be able to work within their country? I don't get what it is. It could simply be like we were discussing before, when we saw a lot of, remember that other, what was it, Ledger X, who got approved for physical Bitcoin futures. And then later on that day, after they had launched their platform, they were told, no, you weren't. Like, I still feel like it's something where the major players within that country are given the red carpet, if you will, to be able to launch their stuff before. If we get any news over the course of the next 6 months that the something stock exchange within Canada, that the something this place, or the equivalent of Fidelity within Canada, is launching their own cryptocurrency exchange, this will then make sense. Because the bigger, richest people usually get the preferential treatment to launch their stuff before the little people. Anyway, that is the, like, what is wrong with the world today? Like, I don't understand. Maybe it's because I would do things differently. Maybe because, I don't know. It has to be when you are in a position of, I don't want to say power. When you're used to the status quo for so long, you don't assume that something new will be able to push you out. So I'm certain that the SEC, the CFTC, all these other people in all the other countries, they have to be doing this as a way to either discourage people from getting into the space, or simply because they think that it's not going to last and they want it to disappear. I'm not really sure, but we keep getting ridiculous news like this. I mean, listen, the news that we just had was apparently Australia's okay with Libra as long as it's overseen. I mean, you can find it. You can find it during the course of 2019. There were so many articles. Libra will never launch within Australia. There's no need for Libra. We are not going to allow Libra. And now everyone seems to be... Is the word honky-dory? I feel like that's not the word at all, but the word honky-dory just appeared in my head. Anyway, yeah. As always, a ginormous thank you to my Patreon supporters. Tigara Machonisa, bake me a cake. I want a cake really bad. There's a cake place not too far from me. They make great cakes. Arfmedic17, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner staff, Bodie McBoatface, Yes to Crypto, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Minting Coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Krypton Beer Shipmate, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich III, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Damien, Nicholas One Earth, One Peace, One Love, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Milweezy, Adobo, Bankroll Network, Crypto Joe, 242 to the World, Wise Night Owl, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, Brady Niels, Master Ventures in Thailand, Mohammed Rodi, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, Barebones Mining, A Bibliophobia, The Animal Reader, John Sarson, Mr. Pickles, Nostromo, Chongololo, Songololo, and Professor Wally from Gunbot University. Thank you all very, very much for your support, and thank you to everyone who is a channel member. I thank all of you, every single one of you. At the moment, Bitcoin is down, but it's not down. It's down by 0.06%. The rest of the top 9.5 are in the green. Lumens is in the top 10, but it is currently red by 0.19%. It looked like a bit earlier that, yeah, this was around when I started the video, that Bitcoin was looking like it was going down. We've been trending almost completely sideways except for this little falsified dip that we have right here. People are really, you see these, right? You see these movements? People are actively playing the market. People are making out like bandits who are trading right now. For those of you who are wondering, Those of you who are wondering why BSV is currently up by 10.5%, you guessed it. Last night, Mr. Wright announced that he is still 99.99% sure that he is going to get the key from the courier soon, which is funny because he announced about 5 days ago that he already had it. And I looked at the price, and the price of BSV shot up on the words of a man with no proof. So that's the news for today. Anything else that I feel like there was something else I had to say, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. All right, I'm off to the second channel. Maybe I should have breakfast first. I think that, yeah, breakfast and then second channel. I hope you all enjoyed. I mean, the news is just really just kind of out there now. I wonder about the state of the world. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. See you.